Kwanza Global, we are back with episode 6.
6, right?
Episode 6.
6 to the 6.
We are back, and the episode for today is called Perfectionism.
I love the way that sounds.
So today we're going to be talking about the myth behind perfectionism. That's what we're going to be talking about here.
Yeah. I feel like this is one of the most critical topic ever, because in today's life there's so much people try to prove. Really, it's like, why are you trying so hard to prove something that isn't there? You know what I'm saying? It's like, why are you trying to be what you're not? When you look at yourself, it's good to manifest, right? We always say manifest until it happens. But the point is to give you that strength, that motivation to go against your dream. But some people, man,
Go for your dream, right?
What?
It's like...
To go for your dream, I'm sorry. But like,
yeah.
Some people, man, take it to another level.
I think so basically exactly. People will take it to another level, and what we mean by that is they'll start overthinking, and they'll start looking at little things, and it gets to a point where you're making excuses of why you're not doing something. So it's like you're trying to start a business, you're trying to start a company, or you're just trying to do anything. It doesn't even have to be that. You're just trying to get something done throughout the day, a specific task, a goal. Whether it be big or small, it depends on the person. But whatever it is, like perfectionism becomes like an excuse, just not. It ends up becoming an excuse, and it forces you, or it restricts you, and it makes you end up not doing anything at all.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, I would go today, and it's like, but I really wanted to go, when it was raining. So when it wasn't raining or something. It's raining outside. I don't know. I'm not really feeling it.
Not really feeling
it might
it's
not
really.
Like... It might, like today. It doesn't feel like it's gonna work out, or I don't have, or like for instance, when we were getting ready to set up the podcast, like I think I could have easily have been like, oh, everyone on YouTube is talking about, oh, get this equipment, this $400 mic and this. I already have a mic, but I could have easily have been like, oh, I don't have the right mic. I don't have the right mic. Even though we have a perfectly fine mic that works. I could have been like, oh, let me get this expensive mic just because this person recommended it or said it. And it's like, I could have just sat back for months until I felt I had enough money to get a more expensive mic that I thought was better, quotations around better, like that just because someone recommended it, and then we would have never started the podcast because we're just waiting on it to get a mic. And then the next thing would have been like, oh, we don't have the right computer. Let's wait till I get a Mac computer or this new Microsoft computer. Like all these little stuff, that's all falls into that perfectionism thing where it's like, oh, it's got to be just perfect or else we can't start. And especially with this, where we'd be pretty much, not only we'd be wasting our time, but we'll be wasting, we'd be doing a disservice to other people, because like the people that get value from what we're trying to say or what we're talking about, for those of you listening, like that get value from what we're talking about, you wouldn't be able to hear anything we're talking about until months later, because we'd be like, oh, we don't have the right stuff to start this up. So perfectionism sometimes perfectionism really shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a thing.
You know what? That is so funny, because when you were talking about this whole thing, that reminded me of just something on social media that I kind of see that is another opponent of us being restricted and stopping us from doing what we really want to do. When it comes to followers on our page, some people may have like 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, and you will only have like 300. I only have 300. I used to have a lot, but whatever. Something was used to be spam accounts. You actually went to one babe who motivated me and told me, you don't need all these accounts. You need real people. That's all that matters at the end of the day. And people who are active too, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like because you have this small amount of followers, you don't think you should be doing what you want to do, like promoting your business or really doing something that you think would help somebody. Just because you don't have enough followers and that's somebody who has like 10,000 followers, 1,000, what are they even doing?
Yeah.
Doing nothing that's going to benefit someone at the end of the day. Because believe it or not, these social media platforms, it is a community that we're trying to. We're all like a little social media family.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's kind of like something that you have to bring.
Yeah.
Something to the table. It's not just about, even when you're showing yourself, even those fake celebrities showing their fake bodies and all of that, they're still bringing something. They think they're good at, even though I don't think it's something, anything really that's going to benefit me. But to them, it's something they're bringing to the table. Maybe it could be their confidence or whatever that could be. What I'm trying to say is like people are being stopped by the amount of followers, the amount of likes, the amount of certain things, attention.
I think it's a lot.
I think it's too much and it's a lot. And you don't even know. Sometimes it be like the people who are doing such great things, who stops themselves.
I think that's
and that sucks. We started our business page with literally 0 followers.
Yeah, we started.
And now we're like, what? Sometimes we may lose followers here and there because people don't always, people may not be active or they may keep it, or just don't think it's something legit real, or they'll just be hating on there. I mean, it's like, we know it's real, we know we're about it.
But
that's all that matters. We know who the people who are there, who are looking at us, know what's up. And that's and then we are so grateful, and we are loyal to them, and we are also grateful that they're loyal to us at the end of the day.
And that's the point of it. It's
that's like, the point of it.
We're more focused on like the real, like you just said, we're more focused on the real supporters. The real, like we know that, you know what I mean.
One day I'm gonna get married, but like, oh hey, I know, I don't care. I always say that. The ones who show me support, I'll be wanting them to be part of what I'm doing in real life. Because believe it or not, like I said, it is a community. I mean, I know every single person, because they also have his own people there. I also have my own people there. So he may not know who are following that are on my page. I may not know who are following that are in his page.
But I mean, you know, it's always something that, because like that's the major key is the community. The community. So it's like we're like always on watch on who's like, we know who's on that, but we like, you know, who's rocking
basically.
So that's
all that really is.
And that's the thing with this topic. It's like, we're not we'd be here forever if we were waiting to get 10K followers.
Exactly.
We'd literally be there's people that have already been impacted or touched by through our process of doing this that would not have been, you know, impacted because we were waiting for what these 10K followers or just for looking good, because some people, it's not like you mentioned, it's bots. It could be bots. It's not real, but it just because it looks good. And what's the point? Really, you're not changing anyone's life.
I'm telling you, I know a lot of people.
You're not impacting nobody that way.
I know a lot of people who only have social media just for looks. It's true. Trust me, in real life, they know nobody. They have no friends. But when you go on their page, it's like millions of followers. At the end of the day, you need real people. You need real people. That's all that matters. Yeah. If I have 100 people who are loyal to me and support what I'm doing, I'm going somewhere than having 10,000 or 1,000 followers who are fake, that don't even watch and don't even do nothing. Don't even support or nothing. That you're like, what is the point?
There's no.
It's like choosing quantity over quality. Pretty much. You know.
And honestly, or how what's another way to put it? It's like, you know, it's like, do you rather have the what it looks like? You rather have the looks. It's like something we talk about. Like, would you rather look the part on Instagram, but in real life you really aren't doing anything? Because we've seen it all the time. There's people who is like, yo, they look like they've made it. Yeah. But if you really know them, what you seem to see on social media does not match their actual lifestyle, and they're trying to keep that up, and that's that perfectionism thing. It's like you're trying to
perfect it so much that you're not even aware of how that reflects in your real life, in your daily real life. And that is the most important part, because like, that is who you are. You rather have that fakeness on social media. That's what people always bring it up and we'll talk about. I know that people are aware. Some people are definitely aware. Some people don't even care whether they have real supporters or not. But I really do appreciate who are loyal. Honestly, you wouldn't know who's loyal until they actually until you actually see it. No, at the end of the day, it's all about, again, it's also about who the person is and on how they present themselves. Like we were talking about how when we first started our page, I think at some point, I don't think we were ever worried about following. We just wanted that audience, people to know about our business, to know about our products and how good they are. Because I remember we were out there giving our business cards to people and talking to them. And that's what really was about. Having our name out there, people to know who we are and what we're trying to do. And then I guess some people were like following us. Some people would have a card and say we'll check them out. And that was great. And then we have there was so then we weren't really worried about the following or whatever, but it got to a point where people were like saying that I guess people were like, I guess it wasn't about until I was like, are we really worried about the following, or are we really about who's gonna buy our products? Because I think at the end of the day, if you have a business page, I think you gotta really choose. You gotta really think about that. Do you really want a big platform, big platform with no selling, or do you want to have people, or do you want to have a low amount of followers, or actually people who actually are willing to pay your products because they actually like your product, not because they want to follow and check what you're doing every day. Like you could have. I'm telling you, the amount of people who watch my story and literally never like my post or just want to watch me just because, trust me, I get annoyed sometimes. Like, what do you follow me for? I actually do unfollow people who literally never, or I don't care, I'm going to say it. Because think about that. So it's true that we don't care as much for support. And like, I'm not crying because you don't like my post once or twice, three. It's okay. Because you might be busy with your own time. But by the end of the day, we need to realize the whole point of social media, you follow me following you, it's about showing support. It's about connection. You may not like me, but you still follow me. What is the point of following me if you're just gonna be like, listen, sis or boy, I don't care who you are. People, I think I've seen also post about it. Memes, people will do that. People be doing that a lot. It's kind of creepy to me. I'm not gonna lie, it's creepy. It's like, I think
another thing too
it's creepy.
Is like that having that, if like being so like focused on that will like, it'll cloud your judgment. It'll be like, it'll make you think that's like, if you're not getting this amount of likes or comments or you know, like these certain stuff, like you're not doing anything, which is which is not true.
Which is not true. It's really about how you portray yourself on social media.
Again, it's about, I mean, what we talk about a lot, which is what our brain is about. Is about a lot. It's just about being you. So you have to be genuine about what you're about.
Exactly. Whether it's in real life or in social media. And again, another thing that I like always bringing it up, and I am never gonna stop saying, be yourself. It doesn't matter. Do not humble yourself. Do not humble yourself. Just be yourself. Because I feel like people are just worrying about, am I being too much? Am I being not too much? Listen, I'm going to be my personality. Believe it or not, my man knows. So like I was saying, like, believe it or not, my man knows how I am. So honestly, whether I'm too much or not, he's going to love me either way. But when it comes to out there, if I'm already like that with my man, that means that's how comfortable I got to be. So I'm not going to go to the world and limit myself just because I want somebody to feel good about themselves or to buy my products. I'm going to keep being me. And that's what everyone should be doing. Whether and then, honestly, you might even be surprised because it might be because of your personality that people would want to actually keep up with you and wanting to be part of your business.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny how one day I had this conversation with someone. I was telling them this person who thinks they know everything about running a business or whatever. That person was like, "Oh, you guys are doing so great, but I feel like you should also be part of it here and there." But then I was like, "Dude, I've even listened to the podcast. I feel like insecurity kicked in because some people know what you can do, and they are trying to use that as an excuse to kind of like limit you. But don't listen to that voice. This is the evil. It's the devil talk. You keep doing what you're doing. Whether it's you with your personality, whether it's you with your dancing, whether it's you with your acting, however you do on presenting your business, I think it's being true to yourself and how, again, you brought up the business because of your personality, because of what you're passionate about.
Exactly.
So if you don't keep up that passion, then what is the point of having a business? What is the point of doing that?
If you're trying to be...
Please, everybody, you will not...
If you're not trying to be... Yeah, if you're not trying to be you, and you're trying to be anything else but you, and trying to, I guess, fit a certain
way, just to make other people comfortable.
Yeah.
Then you're not being true to yourself or your business or even your audience.
And I think that's why
we get caught up with that.
That's the thing. Like you'll like you're like what you think sometimes is like the perfect time to do something, or the perfect way to do something can be flawed because you may not be looking at it the right way. You may be doing things because other people did it this way, or other people are telling you to do something this way, or you've seen other people do it that way, so you think that's the correct way. So that's why it's like, what is actually perfect? Like, now you're going into something that's, it gets where when it comes to like, perfecting, your craft, or enjoying the process of something. There's no perfect. I mean, you're just trying to improve and get better each and every day. So there's no
perfection.
I mean, because it's kind of like that thing where it's like there's there's lots of people who are like, they'll have their something we talked about, their opinions and stuff to say. So
that
regardless,
brings me back to everybody's critics.
Everybody's a critic.
Everybody's a critic. Yeah. That.
So it's like,
see how this topic are related.
Everything just comes together. So it's like it comes down to that. Like, what you think is perfect to someone else still might not be perfect, and then you know what I mean. Like, everyone will have something to say. Like, like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You could be one of the greatest athletes ever, one of the greatest dancers, one of the greatest actors. Like, we see it all the time, especially with social media, and sometimes it's not even actually real hate. It's just people who just wanna say something just to say something. Honestly, but at the end of the day, people will not see what you think is perfect as perfect. We all have. It kind of gets into that subjective thing. So it's like now you're getting caught up into something that's like
that never even existed.
Yeah, that's not even. To be honest, what you're so obsessing over isn't really real in a sense. It's like you're trying to be perfect, for who? Now you have to sit back and be like, am I trying to be perfect because what other people are thinking, or am I trying to be perfect because I'm so conscious of what I'm trying to put out? And a lot of the time, this perfectionism thing is more because we're so insecure about what other people's thoughts are about it, and what they'll say or what they'll do, and how it'll make you feel. and how they'll look at your work or whatever it is that you're doing. And that's why that perfectionism kicks in, because it's like you don't want it to be judged or critiqued in a negative way. So it's like, oh, we want it to be perfect. But if it was up to us, I mean, we could all speak for ourselves, but for me, if I'm just doing it for myself and I'm putting in the work and I know this is how I want it to be put out in this certain way, once I'm able to find out or, get into how I want it to be put out, I'm going to find that way to put it out in the, best possible way I can. But at the end of the day, I have a purpose, I have a why, I have a reason I'm putting this stuff out. I'm trying to impact people, I'm trying to reach people, we're trying to get to people, we're trying to actually, really inspire people. So we're not caught up in like, oh, what is this person gonna think about it? What is that person? It's like, no, we're putting it out with the purpose, with the intent to really inspire people, and we know we're putting that effort into doing that. So once we understand that, we do that, it's not about, oh, this perfectionism, then we don't get caught up in like, oh, I have to have this $4,000 mic. That's irrelevant. I have a mic that works, that's much less of that price, so I'm going to use that, and I'm going to say what I got to say, and I'm not going to get caught up in does it look good, or is this, does this person use this equipment or that equipment, just to use, the podcast as an example, is this person doing this or this person doing that?
Yeah.
So perfectionism, for the most part, I just see it as like you're looking at others instead of focusing on yourself and what you're trying to do. Once you do that, I think that you realize that, that's when you realize, oh, this, if you're doing it for, because especially, using ourselves as an example, if you're doing it for a bigger reason, we're not doing it for ourselves, we're doing this for the people around us, we're doing this, for the community, we're doing this for everyone, who's listening in and supporting, we're doing this for, everyone who, all the newcomers to the Kwanza global community, we're trying to get, that are listening in. It's like we are doing this for y'all, so that's the difference. So we're not caught up in like, in all these little gritty, wasting time trying to make things look the part. It's like, no, we're doing this for a purpose. We're not caught up in that little stuff. So that perfectionism, I think, dwindles away when you have a solid reason of why you're doing something, or why you're putting something out, or why you're dancing or acting or doing whatever it is, the love for it, the purpose behind it, the intent, what you're actually trying to put out, and you're not get caught up wasting time like, oh, what is this person thing or that person thing, and all of that. That stuff is what really makes this perfectionism thing really just, we gotta, annoying. We gotta throw it out the window at the end of the day. What this perfectionism thing is just, it can just be it can really blind us and make us kind of, what's the word, kind of see things, or rather not see things, clearly, or we won't even get and also won't give us an opportunity to really show what we are capable of and what we are able to give to the world. We're not able to give to the world if we're focused on being, air quotes around perfect,
And you know what's funny about perfectionism? Why it's kind of like really bad? Because not only by worrying, making everything is perfect around you, by making by trying to be the most perfect person, and like, because you're so scared that you don't even try, like you're so scared of not winning. You worry about not winning, like you didn't even try. How can you know?
Yeah.
How can you, are you God? How can you know if you're not gonna make it? There is this, because you're just having you're having a lot of, at the end of the day, procrastinating.
Yeah, you're procrastinating. Yeah,
And
because
then
it leads you to procrastinate because
mm-hmm.
you're worried about just how will other people see it, or how
Yeah.
will other people think it looks like, and
Yeah,
you're
you're not
doing.
even focusing on the
Yeah,
actual result,
yeah, you're not focused on the result.
because
After that, at that point, you're just
and then
just
that's
too
funny, because
worried about.
worrying about this whole people and hope and worrying about making it perfect, and that is the whole reason on why it is unrealistic,
Mhm.
and you're pretty much downgrading yourself,
Yeah,
and
man.
you will never know the result.
You're putting yourself down before you can even get anywhere
You
because
will,
you're so worried about,
you
you
worry about
know.
these highly criticals,
Yeah,
and you're not even trying.
yeah. You're making yourself. You know, you're worried about something that you haven't even put out yet. That's the
Yeah,
most
you
part.
gotta
You
have
haven't
the
even put it out
balls.
yet, and you're making it worse for yourself because you haven't put anything out yet, and you're already worried about, you know, what it is you're gonna put out.
Honestly,
Just do it.
all that you're doing
Just
is
do it, man.
worrying. You're just
Be
worrying
you,
and
man.
more. You're stressing yourself,
Be
and you're pretty much not visualizing yourself winning anymore.
you. Yeah.
You're worrying about what other people think.
Yeah.
You worry about how that makes you look, because you're already thinking you're failing. Again, at the end of the day, perfectionism brings us to our worst self,
Yeah.
and
'Cause
it
it
would
just.
never go away if you don't have that confidence in yourself, and
And that authenticity.
that authentic, that authenticity is. And also, I'm gonna bring up to the fact that, have you prayed? Have you really given your dream to God the morning you woke up?
Yeah.
Every single day, I posted this on my Snap story, that Instagram story that I love so much, that I'm gonna read it, because I really
Yeah.
love that quote.
And it's something that just.
Yeah.
It won't let you.
It
It's something that it's like every day you have to, you're
Yeah.
thinking about.
It
Too.
simply says that speak positive words into your life every single morning. Think big. Think healing. Think success. Think peace. Think happiness. Think growth mindset. Always start the day with positive energy. You deserve it. And it's as clear and simple as that. If you do not speak into existence onto your life, if you don't speak positivities into your life, if you don't manifest all these great, amazing things into your life, no one's gonna do it for you. And you're not gonna see yourself actually doing what you're supposed to do. And again, success doesn't come to making millions of dollars. Success doesn't come
Yeah,
into you
that's
buying the
big.
biggest
That's
house
big.
or being
Talked about that. We
famous.
talked about that.
Or being
before.
famous. Success comes to you being comfortable with what
Yeah.
you're doing, being
That's a big
happy.
one. We talked about
Success
that. Yes,
is
sir.
within yourself.
Yes,
What you
ma'am.
love
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Being passionate enough to actually
Yeah.
say, this is what I want to do. Being bold enough to
Yeah.
take the steps into going into what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Success embrace all these amazing things about yourself, about you. It's, at the end of the day, it's all about you.
Yeah, you cannot get boggled down about
You
anyone
cannot
else.
bothered by
And
anybody
that's
else
big.
around
That
you.
is big, honestly.
People would always
That
have
is-
something to say.
that is
Who
big.
doesn't know that?
That is big. The success, I think that's another thing. It's like you want it to be perfect, and you want it to be, you want whatever you're doing, you want to be a success. And it's like, what is your definition of success? And it's like, if you understand that your definition of success comes down to, you put in the work, this is what you're trying to do here, and that you put in every, you looked at every corner, you looked at, whatever it is you're trying to do, you've looked at it, you've put in the work that you could possibly do, and you've understood what you want to do, you understood what you're trying to do, whatever it is that you're trying to do, and you're not going into it because someone else put it in your head. No, you have the intent, you have the purpose of doing whatever it is you're trying to do. And it's not about, what other people suddenly think about it. You're not being, controlled by that or led by that. It's something that was put into your heart, and now you're going with it. So it's like that success comes from you understanding you put, that work into it. you put that work into it, and you know the results are gonna show from that work.
But Jesus was perfect.
You know what I'm saying? And
Jesus was perfect. What happened to him?
And he still got.
What
We
what
mentioned that before. He still got haters regardless.
What
he still
is
got criticism.
Exactly.
He still got criticized.
Like I always say,
Haters
gonna hate. That's all they do.
And I think that's the problem. You think what other people think is what makes you perfect. That's the problem.
Listen,
so it's like,
you would not
so
have
like,
anybody talking about you if you're not making progress.
And that's the thing. It's right now.
So you can't let them stop you or slow you down, because this is all voices of people who wish they were you. People who wish they could do what you're doing.
Yeah, people
and
have to get
you're just talking
mindset.
Because you're just mad and obsessed that you're doing it.
And you have to get out that mindset where you think that what other people say about whatever it is that you're doing or about you, defines who you are, or it defines anything that you're doing.
And you
have to separate that. What people say or think about you is not is not the definition.
The end of the world.
It's not you.
It's not
you. You have to separate the two.
And
so
what's funny?
That's what you have to separate that, where it's like what defines what your obsession with perfect has nothing to do with yourself. It's more about you trying to kind of rationalize or come to terms with what other people might say about whatever it is you're doing. And that is, and if everything they're saying is good, you must be doing well, or it must be perfect.
And you know what's funny? Because it's people who are not the same level as you. Because people who are on the same level as you wouldn't be talking down on you or wouldn't be trying to stop you, because they're already there.
Or they've been there. Especially if
I'm trying to say in a way like the same level as you. Know what I'm talking about? The level that says, we're talking now real things. Like we are going towards this goal. It's like we're speaking. It's like that thing they say, like, see me at the table where they're talking about self-growth, money, and goals, not other people. It's kind of like I am literally trying to figure it out how to make it. I don't have time to be speaking on people, for distraction, or to people or to just talk about other people.
Yeah.
I don't have time to worry about what others are doing. I'm so focused on my grain, on my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have time to look around and say, she's doing it. Must be nice. What is she doing? What is she at? What's she doing? Worrying about what's going on around you, and it's always going to bring you to being confused on your road, confused on your task.
Yeah.
You know? And it's kind of like how being like in anything that you do, it's kind of like not losing focus on your grind just because you're seeing other accounts, other people having millions of followers on their business page. Do you really think all these millions followers are actually buying their products, or are they even keeping up with them? You don't even know they're actually keeping up. The whole point is keeping up with the brand, keeping up with the actual content and business, and being a loyal supporter. Are they even doing that? You don't even know. And to worry about your 100 follower, your 200 follower. These people are loyal, been loyal since day one. Yeah. Focus on them. Focus on how you can actually bring them into buying your products or into being.
How you can serve those people.
I could serve them.
How you can serve those people.
I could serve these people. How you can be better. How can you be better in promoting, or I can be better in pretty much serving them.
Yeah, that's
I really do think that we worry so much about perfectionism. Also, when it comes to just being yourself on your account.
And it's that's why it's a marathon, bro. Like the marathon is just literally all the marathon is literally the reason why it's so like I love Nipsey's like it's a marathon thing. It's just the simple fact, the marathon continues. It's literally all it means is a process. That's all it means. Like it's literally just the process continuing. Like it's a process. Each and every day is a process. So it's like the perfectionism thing is just it's just like you kind of trying to rush the process. It's you trying to like you're looking at the process and like and it's like oh you're more focused on it's like oh my gosh I want you it's almost like you just want to make it already and it's like hey sometimes it's stuff like that you can't go into it and think things are gonna be overnight or think things are just gonna happen like sometimes it's like you want things to happen like when you warm your food up in the microwave we do it all the time. We'll put our food in the microwave for a certain amount of time and we know it's not gonna finish warming up or the microwave is not gonna beep until that time you set it for finishes, but we'll stand at the microwave anyway until and waiting as if we don't know when it's gonna stop warming up the food. And it's kind of like that same thing. Sometimes we're sitting there thing is with life you could start something you don't know exactly when a certain thing will be will get to a certain point. Maybe you're trying to reach a certain goal, but the point is that it's the fact that we unlike when we're warming up your food and exactly when the thing is gonna start. It's like we get caught up in like we just want it to get done so fast. We just want it to happen so fast. And in life, it's always a process. No matter what, you can't rush, anything in life, especially if it's something that is, worth having or worth, doing. You can't rush the process with that. If you want something done well, if you're trying to make a really nice prepared meal, you can't rush it because it's gonna show in the results. It's gonna show when when you see the food or when you eat it. That it wasn't prepared well, and it's just like anything.
And it's okay.
You have to take your time.
And it's okay if you
understand this is I put in you put in the work for it, and within the process it's gonna show itself. And there's nothing about it's not perfect enough.
Listen, failure is also
it's
okay.
a constant thing.
Gotta be real. Failure is okay, but that doesn't mean it stops there. It only teaches you.
It teaches you, and
you get up and you keep it pushing.
And you learn from
and
it.
You know what's even great or amazing about failure is the fact that you actually tried. You actually did it. You didn't say, "Oh, I couldn't do it," and say, "I didn't do it at all."
And that's the opposite. That's the exact opposite that happens with perfectionism. It makes you not try at all. You don't put out anything.
Yes.
You end up not putting out anything or not doing anything.
Yes.
And that's what we're trying to say.
You know what?
Don't fail. It's okay. Fail. Do it. And fail again.
Do it, fail, do it again, do it again, do it again. Don't be worrying about.
Just pick up all the little lessons.
Listen, the devil is a liar. He gonna try to tell you can do it.
He's gonna tell you.
He gonna have that voice in your head, that person, that evil person in your life, that's gonna tell you, really, how you gonna do that? You don't even have a lot of followers. Like, shut up. I'm sorry, my language, but no, stop. No, cut it out. Cut that person that's always bringing negativities into your life. You need somebody that's gonna be like, you know what, I got it. Even if you have that one friend that's loyal, be like, yes, keep it pushing. That's always there for you and really supporting you as much as they can.
Man.
Take that and keep it pushing. Even if you have these 10, 20 followers who are there. Take that and keep it pushing. That's how it's gonna add up. The you know what, the ones that have been there will know, are there for you. Then the new one's gonna add up, and that's how you build a community.
Man.
Listen, everyone started with zero.
Man.
Listen, we all came into this life. Who was it? Unless you were born into a royalty house. Unless even a royalty house, they don't even know social media. They don't even do all that. They're too busy trying to, again, being perfect.
And sometimes when you grow, even when you get to a certain point of success, whatever it is you're doing, like it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like whatever you're great at, whether it's sports, whether it's acting, dancing, singing, academics, whatever it is. Sometimes you get to a certain point of success. Again, in life, we all go, we go
We
through
all go
everything.
through our own
But
thing.
sometimes we actually, like what you said about we all start at zero. Sometimes you have to go, in a, figuratively, sometimes you have to go back to zero and remember and go back to the basics and remember, and remember those, those beginnings. Remember those tough times. You have to go back into that, take a step back and sit down and kind of like, think to yourself. Because sometimes you get caught up with a lot of things that happen in life. And you have to remember, why you started whatever you're doing, why you did what you're doing, and a lot of things. And you have to just, take a step back and just breathe a little bit. But just remember, what it is that you're doing, and it's, not something that will just that will go away, or whatever situation you're in is too tough to get out of. Sometimes this perfectionism thing will have you, is at the end of the day it's just you. Sometimes you're just in your own head, and you have to get out of your own head and tell yourself, yo, I'm doing this right now, and I'm gonna make sure I get it done on this so and so date, or on this so and so day, or this that. I'm making sure I get this done, or I'm gonna do this that way, and this is how it's gonna come out. I'm gonna make sure I figure out how to do it, or I'm gonna talk to this person. I'm gonna really pick their brain about this particular thing, whatever it is. You just have to get out of that, perfectionism myth. It's just because it's not real. It's not real. This perfectionism thing is just, people just throw it around saying that's give you a reason. Got my alarm going. This will give you a reason just to, for a reason why they didn't do something. It's like, is that really a reason, or is it something more? Is there a reason? Is there something deeper? Don't just chalk it up to perfectionism, or because so and so, I didn't get this done in time, or it's I wasn't able to go on this day, so it kind of messed me up, or something like that. It's like, nah, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not perfectionism. There's, at some point it gets to a point where it's like, all right, now it's taking a little bit too long. Now, you're bringing yourself down. Now you're getting into your own head, and now you're almost giving up, and you're lacking motivation because it's not perfect. Now we have to get to the bottom of it, because now it can't be because you don't think it's perfect, but it's got to be something else. It's something deeper than that. And that's that. I mean, that's truth. Like, it can't just be it's not perfect yet. What exactly isn't perfect about it? How do you like, what is it? Talk to yourself about it. What is wrong with whatever it is you're trying to do or trying to put out? What is actually wrong with it? You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to have that talk with yourself, or if you have someone in your corner, who's motivating you and uplifting you, talk to them too. Because sometimes a lot of times, hey, we all need it. You have to change your perspective on things, the way you're looking at it, or the way you're thinking about things, or whatever it is you're thinking about. Maybe the reason, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not doing what you want to be doing, what you can do, because your perspective is off. You're looking at it from a angle that has you believing one thing, and if you can bring it out of yourself to change that perspective, or someone to help you shift your perspective, things can make a real change. It could be a real change for you, in getting out of that funk and realizing that, hey, what this person may or may not think about this, or feel about this, it doesn't matter. What other people may feel about this doesn't matter. How, my fears and anxieties and about what people may or may not think, you know is irrational. It doesn't make sense, because I'm worried about something that, first off, hasn't even happened yet. So I mean, it's really just, again, what is it that's stopping you from being you, from being your authentic self, from being, you know, who you were called to be, from being, from creating whatever it is from really letting your gifts and talents, shine, letting your light shine. So, that's really what you have to have that talk, about. There's no perfectionism. You're not a perfectionist. Of course I don't see why anyone wouldn't want things to get done well, or done appropriately, done well and proper and such. I mean, especially if you're trying to do something well, you want to do it well. Whatever it is you're doing, you want to play well, you want to draw well, you want to do things well. But to say that no one will, you're literally not gonna do something, or try, or attempt, or even really, or pretty much talk yourself out of really going that extra mile, or doing what you really wanted to do or thought about doing, because it's not perfect. That's not that we have to really, we have to kill that. We have to kill that thinking, for sure. But man, I think
it's a wrap.
I think it's a wrap, but
but there's so much we can say about perfectionism, honestly.
I think, especially in this social media this era, digital.
I would say in this era we live in now, like, I feel like I really, really, what's my biggest fear? I know there is gonna be hope. I still believe though that our generation isn't as bad as she was. Okay, it used to be even horrible. It used to be worse.
You think so?
There's a time when I would say, I'm just trying not to say that we're living in such a bad times. That's all I'm trying to come up to. I'm just trying to say there's still hope.
No, definitely.
There's still hope, just because there's still such.
I think there's a lot of
we have a lot of how do I put this? We have a lot of, what's this word? We have a lot of advocates that are still trying to bring up this awareness, just trying to put out there, trying to educate people, people like you and me who are like out there. I'm sure there's like 1,000 of podcasts that talk about these kind of topics.
Bright lights. I mean,
exactly.
Just
that's it. There's still a lot of light out of the darkness.
Minds.
It's just we need the whole thing to be like clear light. We just want the whole light to just shine. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, there's still.
We just gotta keep talking
exactly.
about it.
Exactly. We just can't lose hope. We just can't let this generation even think for 1 second that one thing is okay.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, I mean, this is why conversations like this are important, especially. Which is why, I mean, people aren't talking about this now because they don't even think that anyone will listen.
That's honestly, what I'm trying to. That is why. That is where I was going to. Yeah. It's because we don't have a lot of bold people like you and me who would say, "Oh, I'm going to have this podcast, and I don't care if there's 10 or 20 people listening. Yeah. I'm still gonna do it.
Still gonna do it anyway."
Because there's some people who worry about, like we were talking, following.
Yeah.
And
that's what you're worried about.
All this attention, you're worrying about not having enough people listening, not enough people
None of that.
really keeping up with you. But you don't even know who's watching, though.
You don't know who's watching.
You don't know who's listening.
You don't.
You know?
You really don't. And it will surprise you. And when that person tells you that it meant something to them, you really don't.
You don't know how that person.
And it's a great feeling because it's that's what you set out to do. But that's why you have to really, you have to kill all that noise. And
there is so much we can say. Oh my God, I wish we can talk for. I wish we can. I think we should have perfectionism too.
Well, we could think about.
We could think. We could really like dig into specific how we can really, because I think it's a very broad topic. We kind of need to be we need to touch on different themes into it.
The best thing about this though, a lot of our topics and themes always connect,
which is great because a lot of things keeps coming up. We were talking about
you learn things like
everybody's critic. We talked about what. One-on-one.
We talked about purpose, one-on-one. Everybody, like you said, everybody's a critic. Your why. That was Hey Mama. We talked about a lot.
Listen, you gotta check them out. You really gotta check it out because these topics literally are related.
Everything.
And it's crazy how they really, because they kind of come up. They're kind of coming out as a story.
Yeah, it's really just.
It's a story.
It's just in the. In the process of life, we're just living what we're talking about right now.
This life is a big movie, and guess who's watching? God. We're just his little actors, okay? Sometimes I'm like, yo, I have so many questions to ask. Really, God, are you serious? You know what's crazy? Because I feel like God definitely, he knows our destiny. I feel like he knows some people gonna come up to him and be like, why did you do that? And then I'm gonna be one of those one of those people.
Nah, for sure. Honestly, though.
I feel like he knows we're gonna end up with him.
And at the same time, I feel like it's such a profound thing, because it's almost like certain things that, as we go through life, and we get to certain points, it's I feel like it gets to a point it's you almost want I feel like that question would be crazy because it'd be dang, did it. What I had done, what I did, the impact.
If I hadn't done this way,
if
how would it ended up to be?
Or if certain things didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's crazy to think about. It's certain things happen in your life and then things change, and then it's but it's only because I'm so many of you listening, you could attest to that. There's certain things that have happened in your life or could happen in your life, and then it'll just shift things, and it's dang, what if that didn't happen? But it may not have necessarily been it could have been something that was really bad. It's what?
Bad or not, good or not, it's still kind of impacted something.
Of course.
To be the way things is now.
Life.
Have you watched one of those Disney movies where they be having, and they're they have these moments where certain they have to go back in the past, or I think it's kind of, I think that was was it Wizards or something? I forgot the name of that show, but it used to be a TV show, a Disney Channel, where they have the family, one of the daughter was a witch.
Yeah. Wizards away from
listen. I only know that name. I only know that title in French. I don't know it in English. It really tricked me to remember in English. But she had to make sure her parents get together again.
Oh, that they got. I remember that. Because that was the big movie.
Yeah, because she was going to because her parents were going to. The more her parents forgot.
Yeah,
we're forgetting them. They wasn't existing.
They wouldn't exist.
Yeah, they wouldn't exist. So
but on some stuff like that though, that's real.
So it's imagine our kids right now. our kids right now would have to think of if that wasn't me, if it wasn't you, would they'll come? It'd probably be them, but not them.
Yo, how did we even get here? I can't remember.
Right? It's that would have will it be on us
Yeah.
And
for
this,
real. Nah, for real.
I just hope I'm making sense right now.
Yeah.
But I think because we're trying to wrap up, so at this point, I feel like we really came into, we really came across the topic. I just feel like there's so much we can talk about.
No, for sure.
Perfectionism and why it's bad and how we shouldn't always worry about being perfect, because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect.
Yeah,
we are all trying to make it.
Yeah, we shouldn't worry. That shouldn't be even something.
That shouldn't be a priority.
That shouldn't be
at any level.
That shouldn't be a reason for anything.
That shouldn't be a reason for anything. That shouldn't be.
Not perfect.
That shouldn't be part of your struggle. Part of why you can do the things that you really want to do.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't even be part of it, because that would be really. Yeah. That would be like, wow. That would be really bad, because you are literally. You are limiting yourself. You are limiting your potential.
You're robbing yourself.
You're robbing yourself, and you're not letting the you're not letting the world know your amazing self, what you got. Because again, you can't bring a lot to the table that you're not even giving your chance. I mean, you're not even giving yourself a chance.
Yeah,
you're not giving yourself a chance to try it out, to really see what you can bring to the table. Yeah. So, oh my God, I really like this topic, because I feel like we really do go through that on a daily basis. People in general, whether it's our parent, they do that too. Remember, our parents, like, they want us to go to a certain. They always want to brag about us to their friends. Like, my son here and my son there.
That's gonna be the thing too. That's gonna be like, it's like, yeah, though. Honestly, with in regards to this topic, it's like they want you to fit into
the box on into like what a legacy, because they're.
But when you finally do what you wanted to do, and you're successful with it, that box suddenly becomes broken, and it's like, oh, but I wasn't perfect before. It wasn't perfect for you, but that's the thing. That's why there's no such thing as what is perfect to you. Everyone has their definition of perfect. Their definition is not what perfect is. At the end of the day, that's not what their definition of perfect is. Does not matter.
You can't let
you
that
have to
stop
live your life. Because at the end of the day, your life, whatever you do with your life, does not affect whoever's talking about it. It does not affect them. You still have to live your life and do your own thing. You know, they're not going to be there.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for this. I think our time about to be up.
We could this one.
Yeah, we good.
I really like this episode.
We'll definitely come back to it though.
And I hope y'all got something from it.
We'll have perfectionism too.
I think this is, for y'all listening, you know, I think y'all could relate to this, or you know, can understand where we're coming from, and might have experienced this or know someone who's experienced this before, as far as perfectionism and all of that stuff, or just heard it before. But you know, again, I think this was an episode that this was something that, you know, was on our mind for sure. As one of the topics to talk about. But recording this on a cool Tuesday. You guys gonna hear this on Friday though. So hope you get something from it again. And I don't care if it's that one person listening right now, or two or three, whatever the amount. I hope you got something from it, and I appreciate you listening. Period. Regardless,
God is with you through every step of the way. Don't forget that, please.
And it's all love over here as always. Y'all really don't understand the appreciation though, for real. Mm-hmm. Just like just y'all watching it, and just either watching or listening to it, and just, you know,
and
just
YouTube is coming up too, though.
Yeah, for sure.
We just gotta
watching or listening.
We will do that as well.
So, episode 6. Yeah. But either which way you're consuming the content, you know, much appreciated for sure. So
okay, so
that's episode 6.
That's 6.
And
peace and love.
We're good.
But I love to say that, peace and love. I don't know why. I just got used to it now. Peace and love. Good night. Oh yeah, it's 10.
That's not how we end up. It's Kwanza Global.
Oh, Kwanza Global. It is what? Okay. It's.
You gotta finish it.
Oh my
God. Finish it.
I know. I'd say it's what, and you gotta say it's Kwanza Global. Damn.
Nah, it's Kwanza Global. We out.
Okay. No, we gotta do it together. No, we gotta do one by one. It's Kwanza Global. You gotta say louder. It's Kwanza Global.
And we out.
But it's Kwanza Global.
And we out.
Okay now. Oh my gosh, this guy. Okay guys, ciao ciao.